Hello NSA student, this is Mr. Hinton with the Math Department with another frequently asked question. In this particular problem we are told to determine what method to use and then to solve for the measure of angle A. We're solving for x in this particular picture. Now this goes to, because the triangle is not a right triangle, this is going to be either the law of sines or the law of cosines. And we're going to choose our method based on what is given to us. What we're given here is three sides, and without exception, if you have two sides given, with one exception, if you have two sides or more given, you're going to use the law of cosines. So side, side, side is always law of cosines, and that's what we're looking at here. Side, angle, side is also the law of cosines. Now, side-side angle, if we're given side-side angle configuration, this is called the ambiguous case, and you'll cover that in trig. We don't throw any problems like that one at you in geometry. So side-side angle is the ambiguous case, and you actually use the law of sines for that case. But the other cases, the cases that you will look at in geometry, if you're given two sides or three sides, we're always going to use the law of cosines. Now, the law of cosines is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of angle A. Now, in the law of cosines, we're always looking for either this or that. So we're always looking for angle A or side A in this case. And then if we were looking for angle B, then we would just swap B with A. Everywhere you see a B, you put an A, and then you go. So the important thing to remember is that when you use the law of cosines, you are solving for one of the outside pieces. So what you're looking for is going to go on the outside, and the angle that corresponds with it goes there as well. Then the B and the C, the other two pieces of the triangle, go on the inside here of the law of cosines. So, and the order doesn't matter. It could be c squared plus b squared minus 2cb. So really, as long as you know that the part you're looking for has to be on the outside, the other two parts just kind of fall into place. So this helps you if the triangle is labeled JKL or whatever variables they choose to use to make to name the triangles. All that information is just arbitrary and can be swapped out however you would like. So we're looking, in this case, we're looking for the angle, and this is a little bit more difficult scenario. But let's plug our values in and we'll roll with it. So 47 squared equals b squared is 73 squared plus 78 squared minus 2 times 73 times 78 times the cosine of A. Okay? Or we could say cosine of x there if we wanted to. So let's just get some values here, and I'll show you where most students make their mistakes in this particular problem. I'm going to go ahead and expand all these. Now you don't have to expand things. You can leave it as 47 squared and let your calculator do the expansion. But let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and add these two together. 73 squared plus 78 squared is 11,413. Now, where most students make their mistake on law of cosines is doing this subtraction now. So a lot of students would say 11,413 minus 2 times 73 times 78, and then have that times the cosine of A. Well, when you subtract before you multiply, you disobey the order of operations. So this statement is all locked up in multiplication. So I have to take care of that first before I can do that subtraction sign. So be really careful not to subtract before you multiply. But 2 times 73 times 78 gives us 11,388 times the cosine of A. And again, we cannot do this subtraction now. This subtraction has to wait until later. So I'm going to go ahead and get the variable by itself, just like I would if I were, we always do if we're solving an equation. So I'm going to subtract 11,413 from both sides. 2209 minus 11,413 is equal to negative 9,204. That's going to be equal to negative 11,388 times the cosine of A. And then the next step in this process is going to be to divide both sides by negative 11,388. And when we do that, we're going to have the cosine of A equals .8082, approximately 0.8082. Now again, you want to always keep at least 4 decimal places to get your accuracy of your angle right. So angle A is going to be the inverse cosine. We always use the inverse cosine if the unknown value is what we're if the unknown value is an angle, we have to use the inverse cosine to solve it. So the inverse cosine of 0.8082 is going to give us 36, and it said to round it to the nearest tenth. So 36.1 degrees is what we get using the law of cosines. So again, the tricky part and the part that most students mess up here when they use the law of cosines is doing this subtraction too early. You can't do the subtraction. You can't get rid of the 11,388 by combining it with the 11,413. You have to divide it out and then do the inverse cosine to finish the problem. So that's how you use the law of cosines to find an angle. Thanks and have a great day.